welcome to Grit. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Meg Burgdorf, and in the house today here at Manhattan Beach Studios is Team Austria, Lawrence and Paul.
Okay, can you give us your pronunciations?
Like in German or English?
German, English.
Okay. Laurenz Leitner.
Yeah.
So it's Paul Pascariuc.
Yes.
Paul Pascariuc, Laurenz Leitner. We
it.
only said it 100 times before I just filmed the intro, but we're gonna go ahead and move on with the show. So thank you. And for any announcers who do their games with Volleyball World, now you know you have a soundbite. You're welcome. Okay, so Team Austria, let's dive into it. We're 23, 24. Okay, we're just getting out onto the world tour a little bit.
Yeah.
You've been there.
Yeah.
We've been here. Okay.
So third season.
But it's your third season, right? But how does it feel coming into season number 3?
It feels actually quite nice, yeah. I feel like we started from the bottom, like we both came from like
The youth, like directly.
from the youth, yeah, different
into the
partnerships, coming back together as we grew up together in Salzburg. So we formed a new team in 2022. And then, like, as I said, started from the bottom with basically 0 points, going to futures qualifications in Thailand and losing first round, but still making plus points. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Season 4 seems much better.
So how did it all start in Austria for you guys? Tell us a little bit about the federation structure, you know, probably competing on the CEV and the age groups.
Yeah.
What was your pathway up into this point?
Yeah, both of us started indoor, like because in Salzburg where we were born, there was no indoor court, beach volleyball court, so we had to play indoor volleyball. And yeah, during the time, like till 18 years, I started played indoor, and after that decision to play beach volleyball or indoor professional, and I decided to play beach volleyball professional.
It's like the typical pathway of volleyball in Austria, that you start indoors, like learning the technique, getting to play a little bit, and then deciding between indoor and beach volleyball after school. Yeah.
How does the school structure work? Because we learned
It's
that
totally different.
in Norway
Yeah.
it's very different, in
Yeah.
America it's very different.
Yeah.
So what does it look like as, let's say, you're a 15-year-old going, okay, I want to play volleyball in school or beach volleyball?
I feel like it's actually pretty similar to Norway, I could guess. But like, as you said, if you want to be like a 15-year-old boy that's trying to get professional sports, you can decide for a sports-themed school where you have practice 2 times before school every day. No, not every day, but like twice a week. And where like sports is like a big part of the development there.
So you guys both went to the same volleyball school in Salzburg.
It's like in Austria, it's not like here in America, it's like usually you're going to school and you're playing for the school, the sport you're doing. In Austria, it's like private clubs. So you have to sign up for a private club, like for us it was the Volleyball club in Salzburg. And then after you one specific level you reach, you can go to this kind of sports school. And then you have like more professional training and all that stuff.
Cool.
Amazing.
What inspired you to play beach volleyball? Is it big in Austria? For those who don't know.
It's getting there. I mean, it's not like in the US, I guess, but we both grew up with our parents playing. So our dads actually played together in Salzburg indoors. And then my dad decided to become a professional beach volleyball player as well. So I kind of grew up with it. And then Paul's dad was an indoor player. And yeah, we both made the decision to play beach volleyball because it's like much bigger in Austria than indoors, or like the popularity is getting bigger than indoors. And it's also like you have a bigger chance to make it to the Olympics because the indoor team in Austria is not the best. So.
And you just need 2.
Yeah, you just need 2, not 6, yeah.
So you found each other, and after, like, it's a family affair again, you know, your dads are best buds going through the system, and you guys share that same passion for it.
Exactly.
So what's 2024 hold for you guys in this Olympic race?
I mean, we're trying to play as many tournaments we can because we need this experience because still we're a young team. And, you know, it's like, it's also a little bit difficult for us to go into the tournaments because all the good teams want to play, earn points for the Olympics. But I think we did it till now quite good.
Yeah, but for the Olympic race, I feel like we don't have any chance anymore because we're like...
You still have the Continental Cup, though, in Europe, correct?
But even if we have the Continental Cup, we won't play there because like there's 3 teams ahead of us in Austria even.
Okay.
So I think one is already kind of qualified for the Olympics through the ranking. And then the other 2 will probably play the Continental Cup. So we're...
So you're preparing for LA 2028,
we are, yes.
which is right here. So you're doing your recon year and seeing this is your first time in LA, right?
No, actually
my second time.
Second time in LA.
My third, yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do you think the city has to hold this time for you guys?
We've already had such a great time. We love it. Yeah, it was pretty spontaneous actually that we planned to make a layover here between the tournaments, but we enjoy every second of it. Like we didn't regret the decision to make it, and yeah, as I said, it's such a nice city. Like you have so many possibilities to practice on the beach, have so many teams, and the city is so nice to have like so many opportunities. Yeah. That's
nice. So you grew up watching the sport. Is there a specific team that you remember seeing when you were younger that kind of inspired you or maybe has influenced your style of play?
I mean, for me, it's like the legends in Austria. It's Dopplerhorst. So 2017 it was the World Champs where I got 5 World Champs. In Vienna, it was for me like that point that, okay, I want to be there. Like I want to play in this stadium. I want to go there, play professional, and yeah.
Yeah, same as Paul. As we saw the big stadium on the Danube Island, it was just so overwhelming seeing that the sport actually is like people are interested in the sport in Austria. And yeah, it just made us want to do the same thing. But as well for me, I also watched Phil and Todd Rogers. Back then, I think it was in Klagenfurt actually, like 2012, I think, which was the first time where I was like, oh, those guys are sick. Like I want to be like them, and yeah.
I think everyone wants to be like them a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
Fair to say.
That's a good pick.
So it takes a lot to play on the World Tour. You're constantly on the road, living that road dog life, having to find hotels and flights and food and all of that fun stuff. Some people are able to have side jobs to make it happen. Some people have sponsors. What has your journey been like with that?
I mean, we are very happy like to have good sponsors on our side to help us for all the travels, the trainings, and all that stuff. And at the same time, we're happy to be like a part of the national team that support us with coaches, with trainings, and all the things. And there's one system in Austria. Maybe you can.
Yeah, we're also part of the police academy in Austria. It's like a specific sports police where like athletes like us get into the police academy with a 5-year contract and then have a monthly salary to like pay the bills, like rent and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And within the 5 years, you get a full police education. So after the 5 years, you're basically a policeman.
You're definitely the security on the tour as well.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Like he's had some shooting training
already.
Yeah, I didn't. So yeah.
And that's very different in every country too.
It
so
is.
that's very
like
different.
A lot of countries have like the sports army. Like we do have that in Austria, but we also have the police, which is better.
So that you have more opportunities.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And you're like safer in the police. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome. It's really interesting to hear everybody's journey and like how you make it happen because it's different per country and then per team in that country. So how much has the Federation of Austria had an impact for you?
I feel like it definitely has had a big impact, but not as big as we wished it was, because like the Federation Austria is trying to build a good system around it, but it's not like in other countries like Australia where you get all the flights, all the expenses covered. And also we have like, we get the coaches covered and the practices and the facilities, but everything else we have to pay ourselves. So that's why Austrians are so big in trying to find sponsors. As you can see, we're like fully plastered, but we needed to survive in this world. Yeah.
And I think other people share that sponsorship need and requirement for sure. So Australia is doing something right that maybe we can all learn from.
Yeah.
Big time. So where do you train mainly during the year when you're not traveling?
In Vienna. Yeah, that's where we're based, and that's where the national facility is with all the coaches and all the national teams. And yeah.
How does your coaching structure work there? So one, did you travel with a coach? Do you travel with the same coach?
Yeah, we have like 4 national teams. We are one of them, like the future team. And for those 4 teams, we have like 2 coaches. And those 2 coaches are traveling with us. Depends how many teams are going for one tournament. For example, now in Brazil, like it was like 4 teams, like everybody went there. And because of that, 2 coaches went with us. If there are only like 2 teams, 1 coach is going. So like this, it's kind of.
So do you have somebody here in LA with you guys? Or
Unfortunately,
no, because we are alone and
it's just us 2 and Martin Ermakoro. So.
But the community is really, really intense here, and you guys are in Hermosa, Manhattan area.
Yeah.
What's that experience like for you guys traveling from all around the world, and you come here and there's so many teams to play and train against?
Yeah, it was actually so nice because we were coming in and on Sunday, and we were kind of late organizing some practices because you tried to help us as well, which we're very thankful for it. But I think on Tuesday, or was it Monday or Tuesday?
It was already Monday. Like,
it was a Monday, yeah. We didn't have any practice organized, and we just went to the beach trying to find a court to do some stuff. And then we saw the tailors just peppering by themselves, and we went up to them and were like, hey, you guys need a practice partner? And they were like, yeah, sure, just go ahead. And so we practiced with them, and also the coach made the practice, and it was like really nice. Yeah.
There you go. You just show up to the South Bay, and then you find another team that you would see on tour, and just like walk into practice. Only in the South Bay would that happen. Anywhere in the world. Where else would that happen?
Probably not.
Maybe Brazil.
Maybe Brazil.
Maybe Brazil is like 4 players and 10 coaches. So.
Yeah, right? I know. I see all the videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of cardio. Well, fun. So what's next up for you guys?
We're going to Mexico on Monday, like most of the teams that are here right now, like international teams. So we go to Mexico, play the Challenger qualification there, hope to make it to the main draw. And then we go back to Austria for 1 week, and then to China. That's like the next few weeks.
China, and then maybe even Brazil again after?
No, for us, sadly not, because after that's we have the police academy.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Multitasking.
Yeah. Balance.
Like,
work-life.
Balance. Yeah.
So I have a big question. On the World Tour right now, we're seeing tons of offensive variety. We have the Swedes doing the jump setting and the movements. You know, Anders Mol brought that whole thing out. What do you guys look forward to adding to your game? And then also, how are you defending some of the different varieties that you're starting to see?
Well, we started in the winter in Austria to train this stuff, like go on seconds, jump set and all that stuff, because, you know, everybody's doing it, and somehow you have to adapt the game, and it's not working every time,
it's like,
but we are trying.
We try to adapt our practice to like the new style of playing, but it's like tough to learn it because it's like so fast. You have to be so reactive in every situation, like always be cautious. And we're trying our best, trying to implement it into our game. Sometimes it works, as Paul said, but sometimes it doesn't.
I think there's a lot of teams like you guys right now, you know, going, oh, wow, the last 3 months, things have really spiced up a lot. We've got to figure out how to do this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What else are you guys seeing in terms of trends on the men's side that's emerging, either at your age or kind of, you know, people at the Elite 16? What are you seeing out there on the men's side? I
just feel like the game is getting much faster every time. So you have to try to start putting pressure right from the serve on to make the team, like the opponents, just getting out of system and having troubles already. So yeah, I feel like that's like the biggest part where you can get them into trouble as well. And then just trying to adapt as fast as possible to every situation.
That makes sense. We're seeing a lot more service errors on the men's side, but it makes sense, the return of investment on it.
What is your like mindset going back to the service line with the risk to reward, like ace or miss every time you're at the service line, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, it depends for sure the situation in the game and against who you're playing. But at us, it's like we're trying like that one player, mostly like Laurenz, to go like hard on the serve because he's bombing at service. He can like his jump serve is crazy. And I'm trying to play more tactical stuff, like go to the sideline with the float and that stuff to keep playing, let them play like the side out, not like only ace and then mistake kind of. So like this, we're trying to build up our game.
It's a good strategy.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. The risk and the reward. And you have the conservative, keep it in almost, and be aggressive by location.
Yeah.
And you're aggressive by speed, and it can go.
I'm just aggressive.
Just aggressive.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
And for me, I mean, because I played indoor and then on to the beach, so I was an outside hitter, and all I did was hit all day long. And then I get onto the sand, and they're like shoddy, and it's a little bit more like flowy.
Yeah.
But the men's game is still a pretty powerful game. Like you can still shot, but I don't know. It's interesting to see like set location as well, right? Like it varies per team.
Yeah.
So what's kind of like one thing tapping onto like offensive strategy? Like have you noticed that teams in general are doing?
As I said, like as the sport is getting faster and more athletic and higher, I feel like just staying high on attack and hitting hard is like always getting more and more popular as like you get big blockers now every day. So yeah, that's one of the key factors to be like successful in offense. And also like the Swedish jump set, like getting to fake the blocker, having an open net maybe, that helps as well. Yeah.
I think so too.
How many teams in your federation for Austria are competing right now consistently?
4, I think.
4,
like,
yeah, 4 teams.
That's
like
like
the
the
4
men's
national
side.
teams that are competing.
Right, on the men's side.
Yeah.
So then you guys always train together in the same hub and see each other and kind of go head to head. Do you ever mix up the teams for fun, or is it pretty cement?
You mean like the players in between the teams? No, we never do that.
No.
Maybe for a warm-up game, but
Yeah.
that's like, unless somebody is injured or ill, we basically stay like as we are. Yeah.
Right.
And do you guys also do the Tenerife summer training?
We do, yeah. That's
What's
like
that experience like? Tell us to us Americans that don't travel to Tenerife.
It's like,
Maybe we should be going.
It's like the mecca for European beach volleyball in the winter. So almost every nation is going there for practice during the winter to have like competitive outdoor practices. So, and you have like a very nice like facility, like, yeah.
So it's a Euro Cup in itself happening.
Pretty much, yeah.
Organically.
Yeah.
And how long are teams staying there?
Depends.
Depends. It varies like.
There are like teams that are staying 1 month, 2 months, but usually us we are staying like most like 2 weeks, 14 days.
It varies from. Some teams stay like a week, some stay for like the whole winter, because it's actually quite affordable down there. If you rent an apartment, food is not so expensive, not like here.
I know,
Yes, sorry, welcome to LA prices.
LA prices, If you travel to other parts of the nation, it's not as expensive, but LA is very expensive. What's one piece of advice? Sorry, Claudia. Sorry, I've been coughing a little bit.
It's okay.
What is one piece of advice, since now you're seasoned veterans with 3 years under your belt going on here, one piece of advice that you would give for somebody in Austria who's maybe 10, 11, 12 years old that see you and want to be doing what you're doing?
I think I would tell them to start in an indoor club, because that's what basically got us to have like a decent technique, to understand the game a little, get some experience in some tournaments, some youth tournaments, and then just stay patient and be passionate about it. Like that's, I think, the key factor, like having fun with it. I think that's why the Swedes are so successful, because they just
start from young, training all the time.
Every time you see them play, they're like young, active kids that are like just happy to play. That's what they feel like. Yeah.
And you guys look like you have the same energy, so you're traveling all around the world.
Yeah, we're trying to.
So how do you maintain that though? What's the effort? What does it take? Because you're in all these different cities traveling around. How do you guys stay together as a unit?
I feel like we have a pretty good relationship off the court, as we grew up together, and we have like pretty similar interests and kind of humor, so we're both pretty easygoing, which helps being on the road for a longer time. And yeah, I feel like that's one of the main factors that helps us to also
survive
the
yeah.
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 So what does it mean for you, and maybe, yeah, for you specifically, what does it mean to represent Team Austria?
I mean, it means a lot, of course,
Yeah.
because like I think every player, like young player, dreams about like to represent Austria, to get like a jersey with the AUT
Letters on
it, yeah. And it's like, you know, if this happens, like it's the dream came true.
Yeah, it's like a big thing for us. But I just like a few days ago, I scrolled through the pictures of my phone, and I saw one picture of the first time I went to an indoors national team camp, and I saw the picture of like an Austria polo with the flag and the letters on it, and I was so proud of that.
Aww.
Because it was such a big thing for me back then, and now it like kind of got a little lost, but you kind of have to remember yourself or remind yourself that you're still playing for a national team, that's like a big thing, and like 90% of the teams that are competing on the tour are like national teams actually. And yeah,
it's kind of, it's easy to get caught up in that race,
exactly.
right? Like there's always something new, what's next?
Yeah.
But like, it's so important to take that breath, right? And kind of like ground yourself and be like, okay, what's my why? Like, why am I doing this?
Definitely, yeah.
And for a lot of athletes, it's the passion for the game. And I'm sure you can attest to that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you're not passionate about the game, you probably won't do the sport because it's like not so lucrative. So, yeah.
Well, touching on that exact point, it's not as lucrative.
Yeah.
What do you guys see for the future of the sport? Through Austria, through the Beach Pro Tour, through even what the States are doing? Like, what do you see to be the future? Or what is needed for you guys?
I think we're both pretty curious what happens after the Olympics, because I feel like there's gonna be a big change. But I feel like in general, the sport is getting bigger every day. So, and also especially Austria is trying to play a big role in developing the sport, making big tournaments, like the Austrian guy, Hannes Jagerhofer, who is always doing the Danube Island tournaments, is trying to help the sport like big time. And yeah, I hope it continues like that. Yeah.
We might see like a really big shift between Paris and LA. Who knows what will happen on the world tour, and what new like rules and regulations that may come from that.
Definitely, yeah.
Who knows? Because before we were talking about it previously about points, having it be a little bit easier to get into these tournaments. But now, as you can see, there's the Challenger and then the Elite 16 and of course Futures as well. So what has that shift been like for your journey?
Like, you mean switching from Futures to the upper class, or like?
I love it.
Like Challenger and Elite?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we, as I said, we started from the bottom of the Futures, like going to Thailand, almost not making the qualification there, to kind of getting into Challengers regularly. So it was a big step. And it's still tough to get even higher in Challengers, like making main draws all the time and then maybe competing in Elites. Yeah. It's, especially in the Olympic year, it's pretty tough. So we're trying to see what's coming after the Olympics to maybe play like the Challenger events or maybe Elite after the Olympics to have like better chances to make it into main draws. That's pretty much our goal for the season, I think. Yeah.
Are there any rivalries on tour or countries that you like facing off or that are big battles for you?
I mean, it's funny because last year we played a lot of times against the Norway guys, like not the Henrik, but the younger Moll, Markus Moll and Sunde. And it was funny because we played against all the combination they had, like, and yeah, so I think against them we are playing pretty.
I feel like that's one rivalry that's been going on for sure. But other than that, I don't feel like there's like one specific team that is like our like main opponent. Yeah. It's mostly this up here. That's our main opponent.
For everyone, you know, everyone. And then last question here, unless you have another one, but just the overall culture of Team Austria when you walk in to the gym or going to the beach with your trainers. What's that culture like?
It's actually pretty nice. No, like I feel like we have good dynamics between our coaches and the teams. I don't know if you know, but there's like a big change. There has been a big change up between like 2 of the Austrian teams, which kind of messed it up a little. But I feel like it's getting back together now. So I think the energy is quite good. We like laugh. We have a good laugh sometimes. Yeah. And yeah.
Good.
I mean, you're smiling.
I know. Yeah, constantly smiling.
We're having a great time here.
We love a good laugh. Yeah. Any good laugh, anytime, right?
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
Well, great. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's
good.
Let's take it from there.
Okay, sorry, Claudia.
Let's start over.
I know. I'm so sorry. From the top, actually.
Yeah.
You just have to tell me thank you again.
Okay.
She wants you to start, and then I'll say thank you for coming on the show.
Like, thanks for having us.
It doesn't have to be your exact thank you. Just say any thank you, because I'm just going to cut from your shot to her shot.
Okay. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah. Thank you for coming on and talking about Team Austria. It's always awesome to have fellow volley lovers come in here into the studio and just talk about the great sport of volleyball. So thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow these two along on their journey. It's going to be a very fun one for them. Until next time, alongside Meg Burgdorf, I'm Victoria Dennis. Keep it gritty out there.
Make that